So there's a lot of us that we need to get through on this particular daily show. I've got a lot to talk about. There's obviously a recap of what happened in the World Cup final with regards to the Proteas women. And then there's also a preview for the West Indies series that starts tomorrow at Centurion. I went down to Centurion today as well. So I'm going to give you my take on looking at the training session. And also, I'm going to give you my take on what I saw with regards to the pitch from where I was standing and what Temba Bavuma had to say at the press conference. So there's a lot for us to talk about on today's show, and I'm really excited about this show and being back again with you guys. But before we get going, before we get started, there's a couple of things that I would love you guys to please do. Please subscribe to the channel. Please click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, share, and subscribe. And that's also very important that you like and comment and share, please, because that's how we get into other people's recommended feeds. Also, what I like you guys to do is to please download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free, straight to your inbox every month. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And also, if you want to help us grow and promote South African cricket, you can become a patron today by clicking on the link on the screen or in the description. This is how you help me as us as a company. You help the people that are doing amazing work with us as well. You can help; that will also help them too. And also, you can help us help South African cricket as well. Also, go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. So, without further ado, guys, let's get straight into today's episode. A very good evening and welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host, Khalid, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. And today we're going to be talking about the first test versus the West Indies, as well as the T20 World Cup final, a recap of what happened in the final and where I am sitting at the moment with regards to this final. Good evening, Aditya. Welcome to the show, brother. Gaurav says, I know Shukri would play Mulder probably, but in my opinion, Mulder hasn't performed. He has been a flop in every series. Should look for another all-rounder. And Mzanzi Comic Club, how's it there? How's it, Ravi? How you doing, brother? So let's talk about everything. Hello, Tabo, as well. Welcome to the show, bro. So let's discuss first and foremost. I want to talk about the Women's World Cup. For me, the result didn't matter when it came to the final. For me personally, what was the biggest achievement for me was making that final and the effect and the impact that this particular team had on South African cricket. It was absolutely phenomenal to see the amount of people that came to the stadiums, how much people actually were sitting together and watching it on TV. I was at a restaurant watching the game in Johannesburg, and the way people were going on in the restaurant, supporting the ladies, shouting at the TV, celebrating every single wicket, celebrating every single run that was hit or boundary that was hit. It was a fantastic ambience to be in Joburg and covering that game and watching that game. So can you imagine? I mean, from the videos we've seen, from the daily show that we have on the particular channel, to see the way people have responded to this particular performance was phenomenal. I thought it was absolutely fantastic what has happened from a woman's perspective. So the what I'm hoping though from here on out is that Cricket South Africa take advantage of this and they invest more money into the women's game. Currently, this is the most successful senior team that we have produced. It's the Proteas women team. They've made it to semi-finals, multiple ones, and they're the only senior team to make it to a final. So by that, we automatically need to see them straight, put some money back into the game, put some money into the domestic game as well, so that we can see those things happening. So we can see development happening. So we can see incentives for these ladies that are sacrificing their lives, sacrificing their days to play the sport. It's phenomenal to be able to see what has happened. The reaction on social media has been superb. And what I liked about this women team is that was Australia. and a team that has been in development for years and years and years, a team that has been earning at a domestic level, a team that has also been in a situation where they can pay their players a very similar salary to what the men of the Australian men are earning. So they are in a much more powerful position, and the everything is on a top level. Coaching, the fitness expectations, everything is at a top level, and I want to see that type of professionalism in our in our particular game as well. So I'm really excited to see what the future holds for South African cricket, for women's cricket particularly. I really want to see some more investment. I know that Enoch is heavily invested into this, but I'm hoping that everybody else in the lower levels too can also be heavily invested in that too. So very proud of the Proteas women. I know they only lost by 19 runs against a very tough Australian team. I think Australia is now the first ever team, men and women in T20 cricket, to have gone unbeaten in a tournament and win a trophy. So 6 out of 8, I think it is, trophies. It's phenomenal to see what they have achieved. And Australia is the benchmark, of course. They're the team to beat. They're the team to hunt down. So with the women's team and the amount and the development and the what they've achieved, even without Dana Finikek in the team, and even without Marazan Cup necessarily being at her best in this tournament, the way the team as a whole has performed, phenomenal. And I think they deserve the praise. And obviously, I think they deserve the support from CSA as well and from surrounding unions as well. The women's sport needs to be promoted and it needs to be supported as best as possible. And I hope that they do so. I really do. Let's see some of the comment section so far. So will TDZ play? I will respond to that a little bit later when I start getting into the preview. Power play intent was missing in the final. It was. What was surprising to me, is that they had Annika Bosch in the team. They dropped Dami Tucker and they had Annika Bosch in the team, but she was batting at 7, which was crazy for me. I think she should have batted at 3. Don't break up a partnership that was working. Bat at 3, and then bat Marazan lower down to be your main striker of the ball in the situations. Because if you lose an early wicket, Annika Bosch can find the offside. She can find the gaps. She has a very good stroke play, etc. So I would have liked to see that happen, and I would have liked to see Annika Bosch get a better opportunity and be back more, because she's a fantastic batter. And that was the one gripe that I had with regards to the selection, with regards to the final and throughout the tournament, is that Annika Bosch was batting way too low than what I feel that she should be batting. I think women should have won the World Cup. They lost the match at power play, but nevertheless good for women's cricket. They batted better than the men, says Tawagama. Nice hotel room. It's not a hotel room. It's a friend's room of mine. I'm staying at at family friend's house, and this is the room that I'm in. It's not a hotel room, guys. I don't afford a hotel at the moment. The flights on its own are expensive. A trophy would have been nice, but they were already champions in my eyes. The story of Japta was also heartwarming, from being down and out a few months ago to being a winner on the big stage. Yeah. It was a phenomenal story about what happened over there. Sonalo did tell me what happened in person, and I was hoping to do something exclusive after the World Cup with her. Let's see if that still does take place. But I mean, already the story has been broken by Click Info now. So yeah, that's unfortunate. But a very powerful story and something you guys should read. It was a phenomenal story by Fidos, and she deserves the credit over there for doing that work and putting that story out there. Power play cost of the match. We all know this, yes. So yeah, and I just want to see that support, the right support from CSA. I mean, why should it have taken a final for them to wake up? They should have been seeing where this team is going, with the amount of resources that they have available to them and the amount of passion that they put in. I mean, some of the players are still working and still playing. It shouldn't be that way. They should be able to they should be able to play cricket professionally, and it should be keeping them going. They shouldn't be having to rely on working 2 jobs and going in and going to have to play cricket as well, because cricket is a very taxing sport. It takes a lot of time out of your life, the training sessions as well as the game. So they should be compensated for that and the sacrifices that they've made for this sport. and I really truly believe that. Okay, let's move on to the next part of the show, and that is obviously the preview of the game between South Africa and the West Indies. First and foremost, it's a new era. I asked the first question in the presser today. It was a live in person presser as well. It was a hybrid presser, so a live in person and online. And I asked Temba Bavuma about the new era, and there are quite a few quotes that we can talk about when it comes to this. And I'm going to read some of those quotes out to you guys right now of what Temba Bavuma had to say at the presser. So, regarding the new era and regarding things, he said, I think it's exciting times for all of the guys. It's the start of a new journey. We'd like to start with a clean slate and really go out there playing the way we want to play. I think you're going to hear me saying that a lot. How we want to go about our business, that's the exciting part. I'd like to see how it looks like in the field of play. We come into the series against the West Indies wanting to win the series, um, and we'll be aiming to do so. So I'm going to share our preview with you right now that Avuyile did on our website, and I'm going to go through it with you guys. I'm going to read it to you guys. You guys can go support him by getting the click, because guys, read our website. If you, the more that you support our articles and share our articles that we do, the more opportunities we can do get for advertising. So please go and support our cricketfanaticsmag.com, because that's where we're going to be able to attract advertisers as well, so that we can start earning from this venture. We've been working way too long and way too hard for no compensation with regards to that. So please support us with regards to going to our website and the support. That's all I ask for. It's 100% free. You don't have to pay a cent. Just go to our website, go share our articles. If you see something on our website, please share it with your friends and family. Put it in WhatsApp groups. Share it online. To retweet us on Twitter and all of those type of things. It really will help us a hell of a lot. So this is our preview. The Protests will return to test action on Tuesday when they take on the West Indies in the first of two Betway test matches at the Super Sport Park in Centurion. South Africa, who have had a fairly poor run in the test arena in recent years, will enter the series on the back of a humiliating 2-0 defeat at the hands of Australia last December. However, a lot has changed since then, as the team will, for the first time, play under the tutelage of Shukri Conrad and captain Batemba Bavuma, who will become the first black player to captain a South African test team. Bavuma will take charge of a fresh, rejuvenated 15-man squad that features the likes of Tony DeZorzi, Gerald Coetzee, and Simon Harmer, and says that the side is looking forward to a fresh start. We welcome the new faces in the side and players who have been on the team before. Now, Simon Harmer is not necessarily a new player in the squad. He has been with the squad for quite some time now. I think we welcome the new faces in the side and players who have been in the team before, said Bavuma. I think it's an exciting time for the guys involved. As you said, it's the start of a new journey, and we'd like to start on a clean slate and go out there and we play. We'd like to win. That was the answer to my question when I asked about the new era. The particular series will serve as an opportunity for South Africa to climb the ICC test rankings. Bavuma is adamant that no extra motivation is needed, as the team is fully aware of what's expected. Now, we are out of the World Test Championship from what I know personally. So this series necessarily is not all about that, of course. But it is a very good step in the right direction for South Africa. I think just having the opportunity to play for the Proteas is motivation enough, he said. It's another opportunity for the guys to represent the country and to inspire the nation. So there's no bigger motivation than that. Coming into the series against the West Indies, we want to win the series, and that's what we'll be aiming to do. The 32-year-old is no stranger to captaincy, having previously led the T20 side and currently leading the ODI side. However, Bavuma says he is counting on the leaders in the team to support him. In terms of the leaders with the group, some guys have been around playing Test cricket for quite a while, and I'll be leaning on those guys in terms of knowledge and ensuring we all speak the same language in what we're trying to build. I think we have young guys also who are potential leaders within the team. There's that other responsibility with being a senior player to kind of impart any experience or knowledge you have on those guys. And the first test between South Africa and the West Indies will start at 10 a.m. at Supersport Park. Now, I'm going to go through what I've seen, what I looked at. I asked certain questions about, the journalists asked certain questions about the conditions. I had a look at the pitch today as close as I could get. I couldn't go onto the field, of course. We don't have that access. But we had an opportunity. I had an opportunity to go on, to look at the field quite from the banks, and I could see that it was quite flat with a little bit of grass on it. It didn't seem very cracky. I looked from the press box as well. I didn't really see that there was a lot of cracks. So I think this is going to be quite a good batting wicket, and we know what Centurion has to offer. Temba Bavuma also said this in his presser that they're going to be expecting that, and it doesn't really matter who bats first or bowls first in this particular case. It's about how you read the conditions that's going to win you this game, and I agree with him 100%. Shukri Conrad was at the field. He was also looking at the conditions. He's a man of conditions. You saw this in our under 19 exclusive interview when he took over the under 19 World Cup. We took out under 19 a gig for the under 19 team, the under 19 team. And he spoke a lot about having to teach the youngsters about conditions, and that's very important. The conditions determine the way you're going to set up, the way you're going to approach the game, and the way you're going to play. It's very important that you do look at that. You can't just ignore it. This is not football. I always say this so many times. This is not soccer where you can just pick any 11 and put them out on the field and hope that they're going to score you some goals and play a game. Conditions in cricket is what makes cricket so amazing as a sport, and it's what makes Test cricket so pivotal in the game, and what makes it so strategic. You look at the conditions and you pick accordingly, and your players need to approach it in that way. So I hope that we can that the wicket is good for both teams, but I'm hoping that South Africa can exploit the conditions the best, and that's what I'm hoping from this particular team. Now, going into the lineup, personally, let me first show you guys that don't know what the squad is for this particular series. So we've got the batters, Temba Bavuma as captain. Also, another thing that I want to just say, we asked Temba Bavuma who the vice captain is, and he said they haven't selected a vice captain yet. So we have no clue. I mean, in my opinion, I think it should be Aiden Markram, because I think that he's the future leader of the team. If he can perform and score some runs in the test arena, that would be a good way for him to learn from Temba, and for them to put him in a more senior role, so that the transition isn't that hard when he does become captain. That's what I think should happen, but it's very possible someone like Kesh could be if he gets selected in every single team. But at Centurion, it doesn't seem like they're going to go with a spinner, in my opinion. Possibly they could, maybe with Senaran at 7, but I think that they're going to go with the all-seam attack, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion and my view of the wicket that I've seen so far. At the wicket and what I've seen at Centurion over the last games, T20 games, etc. So it would be interesting to see what happens over there. But let me put that squad back on the screen for you guys, to show you what is going on. So Dean Alga, Aiden Markham, Keegan Peterson is back, Tony De Zorzi, Ryan Rickleton, Randy Klassen. Then we've got all-rounders in Marco Janssen and Vian Mulder. Kagiso Rabada. Gerald Kutsia can be classified as an all-rounder too, but I put him in the bowling seaming department because I feel that that's his stronger aspect of his game at the moment. Anil Nokia, Simon Armour, Keshav Maharaj, and Senaran Mutasami. So when it comes to selecting the 11, this is what I think will happen. But I don't know if it will. But I'm just gonna go on what I think, and from conversations with Shukri, with regard when I did my interview with Shukri, from what he was telling me in his interview with me. Guys, please go watch that interview. It's still relevant today to get an understanding of how he thinks about the game. So if I had to pick an 11 and I had to select the 11 right now for this particular game, I would go with my openers would be Dean and Aiden. At number 3, I'll go with Tony De Zorzi. Number 4, I'll go with Temba Bavuma. And 5, I'll go with KP. Now, there's a reason why I'm moving KP down. Now, it is a possibility for you to switch that around. I'm saying either play KP at 3 and move Tony down. But I think Tony's a slightly more attacking batter. And I think that they're going to want to attack on the front foot from the start. And Tony's a type of player that understands Centurion wicket. He's been there, he played there, and he's done well there as a player at Western Province as well. So I think that if they want to be on the front foot, I would go Tony at 3. Then to consolidate, if you lose quick wickets, you'd like to have a partnership in the middle order that can really grit it out and take you and calm things down. And I think having KP and Temba in the middle order can really calm a team down. So that's what I'll go with 5. Then at 6, I would go with Heinrich Klaassen. And I'll go with an extra batter at 7 in Ryan Rickleton. Now, this is a debate. because you could go with having a little bit more of a balance, going with a center run or going with a VM to get that balance from an all-rounders perspective, which I can see Shook's also doing. But I think going with seven batters into this test could be a very smart move, especially when you have Anrik Nokia, KG Rabada, Marco Janssen, who can really, or all three of them are wicket takers. So from that perspective, I'll say it again. I'll go with Aiden, Dean, Tony. I'll go with Timba, KP, Hendrik Klaassen, Ryan Rickelton, and then of course Anrik Nokia or KG, Anrik Nokia. No, sorry, Marco Janssen, KG, Anrik Nokia, um, and obviously then you could go with Gerald Coetzee. Now, if you're going to go full out pace, full out attack, that would be a brilliant team. But there's an opportunity over here to also play an all-rounder that can add spin like a Senator Mutasami, which I think could be a very good option. So that's my 11 guys that I think that I would like to play. Let's see what you guys think about the 11 and who you guys would like to play. So you guys can start putting your 11s in the in the live chat so we can see. Pat Panda saying, so excited to see Ryan Rickelton play Test cricket, such a good player. I think you should play. He's brilliant in the high field. He's been excellent in the high field. Markram play in the middle order. Temba play at 4, says Priyanshu. Markram play at 5. It's an interesting one, but it's already been confirmed by Shukri that Dean and Aiden will open. So there's no point in saying that he'll bat in 5. When will Markram become T20 captain? Well, when they announce the T20's teams, I think he will be the captain. Seeing that he captained the SEC to a SA20 final and that he's been made Sunrisers a Hyderabad captain, it's only logical for me personally that he should be captain of the Proteas, and he's one of the best players in that team as well. 3 play KP, says Priyanshu, which I don't mind that either because he's experienced there, he's played there for the Proteas already, so I can also see that happening actually. Having all your experienced players at the top of the order is also a very smart move, and then moving your youngsters down the order, also a very smart move. Attacking on the later stages instead of being on the front foot at the top. I'm white ball will need captain too. I don't know what you're saying there, bro. Lawrence says, don't know if you got the same vibes at the press, Khalid, but it certainly looked like we will play the 7 frontline batters tomorrow, along with the 4 quicks. Probably means a day before Tony Rizzosi with the reset 6. I like that as well. What you are saying over there, and I got that vibe kind of too. That's why I'm saying that we're playing the 4 quicks. I feel that the type of wicket is a wicket for that. I don't think Shukri has the same mentality as Mark Boucher at all, where he says you need to play a spinner every single wicket, even if the conditions don't suit it. Just having him as an option is a good thing. I think we can take out West Indies because they're in a similar position as we are. You know, they're also trying to develop. They've got also a very young, talented batter in Chandra Paul over there that has been doing really well. And Brathwaite has also been excellent as a captain. They had a good series in Australia. So they are used to I feel they are kind of used to these type of conditions because Australia is very similar to South Africa, but I think that the Centurion wicket is a little bit different. We're gonna need to be on the front foot and play an attacking brand from the start because we can really hurt West Indies by attacking them from the get-go. And if that's the method that they want to use and the mentality they're going to use, that's the only reason why I think Tony should bat at 3 over KP. KP is a brilliant batter. He can bat at 3 or he can bat a little lower down. But if I think of the past and what I've said, I'm kind of being a little bit. I'm going to be contradicting myself a bit because I've always said when you bring a youngster into the team, you need to protect him. I don't know if I still feel the same way under Shooks. I think Shooks will pick the players that he'll know the players inside out, and he will pick the players that are best suited for the situation and the conditions. I think that Tony's better suited at 3 in the IFL particularly. But KP, wonderful batter, so I don't really mind what order they place them in as long as those players play though. I definitely, that top 6, I definitely want to see them. Top 7, I definitely want to see those players play. I want to see all of them bat. And then go with 4 quicks. In my opinion, Markram can turn his arm maybe for a couple of overs as well. I haven't necessarily seen much of him in 4-day cricket with the ball as I have seen in white ball cricket. but it's possible if you need some spin. Markram is not going to bat in the middle order, guys. Yes, he's opening the batting. Shukri already confirmed that he's going to open the battle. It doesn't matter if you want it or not, Markram will open. CSI should plan to incorporate more test matches. We are trying to do so. Enoch is trying hard to do so. He doesn't like the fact, from when I've spoken to him before on interviews, he doesn't like the fact that we're playing such little test matches. He wants more test matches. He wants more SIA tours. He wants a lot of things. But it's now about what is feasible and what is possible. And that's going to have to, we have to see if that is happening. Made it clear Markram will open. Um, Shukri play at opener. Dean, what? I don't know what you're saying there. I wish if Markram can score at least one century in the test series. Give me one reason why EAV drop in test. Not consistent enough, in my opinion. Uh, I think that EAV has to learn how to convert more. I love him as a player. I love him as he's a great person as well. I had great conversations on this channel with him. I like the way he thinks. But I think that with the mindset of going more attacking, I think with the mindset of giving Aiden Markram, I think Shukri believes in Aiden Markram like I do, like many other people do too. I would give Alga one more chance, and if he doesn't score runs, then I would drop him and give Tony Dezorzia a chance as opener. Interesting point over there. I like Tony at 3 coming into the innings when if there's a good start by the openers, coming into the innings with a little bit of pressure off him and going out there and playing his natural game. I like Tony as a 3, even though he's great as an opener too. But I like him at 3. There's a right left combination at the top, then again another right left combination at the bottom, and then another right left combination, I think, as well with right. Oh no, it's 2 right handers and then a left-hander, left-hand combination with regards to keepers. So an interesting one going forward. Algo will play definitely. Yes, of course he will play. At least I think he would. It will be a massive shock if they drop Algo. Um, a massive shock. Temba will bat top order. Temba will bat at 4, I think, in my opinion. Alga, Markram, Tony Dezorzy, Babuma, KP, Haniklas, and that's what I think the top 6 will be in my opinion. Peterson will continue at 3, says Tabo. That is also very possible, and I don't mind that either, like I said on this channel earlier. Khalid, if Markram is going to open, as we know, then where will Tony? I just answered the question. I think he will bat at 3. Oh, God, again, Keshav. No, he can't be vice captain. Oh, you guys are a little bit delayed, I think, on this with regards to when the live chat is coming through to me. One of the Zozi or Rickleton will definitely play. Maybe both will play. I mean, both can play, like Lawrence said and suggested. I think both can play. I think 7 batters on this wicket would be a good option, actually. Yes, Khalid, Tony D'Souza at 3. Thank you. You are agreeing with me. I like Tony. I just like Tony at 3. I don't know what it is. He just has the knack for that position, in my opinion, because he bats quite attacking. Tony D'Souza will play. Seems like they want an all-rounder in the team, so expecting Meldo or Mutasami to play. It's possible that could also happen. But I don't think Tony D'Souza will be the full guy in that particular case. I think that one of the keepers will drop out then, if that is the case. Even though I think Riggs should play, he deserves to play. But I do think that if that doesn't happen, I don't think you pick Tony D'Souza and not playing. It doesn't make sense to me, because then he would be getting more out of playing at domestic level and getting runs and staying in form. I don't think you pick Tony D'Souza and not playing, but let's see what happens with the team lineup tomorrow. I think Riggs will play, Systex. Is there still a mathematical possibility of the WTC final for Proteas? I don't think so. Let me just double check this, guys. Let me just double check what is happening with regards to that. I think we did a story on this. I know Lawrence would have read this online as well. So please let me know, Lawrence. I think we're not in it. I think we're out of the WTC from what I remember. And I don't think there's a possibility for us to make it into that final. I'm just trying to look if we did an article on the cast, so just bear with me. Um, Lauren, can one of you guys maybe help me out in the live chat? I don't think it's possible for us. We are out, no chance anymore. I thought so. I remember doing a story on it. I just can't find it at the moment. Khalid is to confirm that Markram will be T20 captain, I guess. Yes, don't want. I don't think it's confirmed yet. I, we're gonna have to wait for the ODI teams and the T20 teams, the ODI team obviously and T20 teams to be announced. I don't know when the T20s and when those teams are announced for the series, then I will probably know who's going to be the captain. Tabo says his lineup is Alga, Markram, Peterson, Bavuma, Mulder at five, Klassen, Rickelton, Janssen, Rabada, Nokia, and Kotsia. So Tab is also going with a complete test or complete seam attack as well. I don't know why Sinaran is selected. Have too many all rounders because he's a batter. He gives a batting option. He's a very good batter, actually, in my opinion. Wakas George says because of his conversion rate. Do you could see it getting his debut? I can see it happening. I really can with a raw pace. Afsal saying he wants Tony DeZorzi to open with Aiden. He wants KP. He wants Temba. He wants Ryan. He wants Klassen. He wants Senaran Mutasami at 7, which is a very good option and it's possible too. Marco at 8, Gerald at 9, KG, and Anas. Brilliant lineup that. If I see that, that's very brave because you're dropping Dean Alder. Just make KG vice captain, senior player, and always plays. Um, I'm not in favor of them KG being vice captain, in my opinion. I don't see him as a future leader. And often you don't really make bowlers a captain very often. I know that Australia's done it with Pat Cummins, etc. But not very often does it happen. Um, Whoever's vice captain for me should be the future captain of the Proteas, in my opinion. What if Aiden fails in the series? Next series is against needs openers to do well. Aiden struggles against India. I think Aiden's game against spin has come a long way. So I don't think we should judge him based on that last series where we got completely dismantled in India. Because since that, his spin game has really improved. And Heinrich Klaassen is also very good against spin as well. So those two players will be very important in India. So I think there is an eye or that must be in their minds when they're thinking about picking this particular test team, and that's why there were so many changes as well. I feel. I think the current coaching management of Shukri will do everything opposite strategic of what Boucher did during his tenure. I think there will be maybe some certain things that will kind of maybe be the same because Boucher wasn't completely hopeless. So I think that there will be some similarities, but I think they will go with what they think and believe. He's picked a very good coaching staff as well. I'm very happy for Pete Botha, by the way. And for the guys that don't know Pete Botha was Andrik Nokia's bowling coach. So Andrik Nokia always goes to Pete for extra um, sessions and to teach him new things. He's been very successful with fast bowlers, and I think that it's a brilliant move to bring him into the team because he's working with the young Gerald Coetzee and Marco Jansen. I think they're really going to improve under him, but we're going to have to wait for him to actually take over the job. He's not with the current team at the moment, so we still have Charles Langeveld and Neil McKenzie is helping with the batting. I actually watched Neil today. Bloody hell. I was very impressed because I've watched a lot of coaches on the field, do slip catching, doing, edging the ball to the slips, etc., and doing that. Neil Mack's accuracy is just brilliant. Like I just saw them doing their rotations, and he hardly ever made mistakes with regards to that. Where he wanted to put the ball went there. So phenomenal to see that live training session at Centurion today. It was fantastic. I enjoyed it. I really got to say hi to some of the players. It's good to see that everybody looks fit. The first thing I did was I wanted to analyze when they were doing their sprints and their runs, who's maybe wobbling, who's maybe not looking 100%. Everybody looked 100% fit to me. I did see a little strapping on Rick's ankle, but I mean, it didn't look like he was hobbling at all or having trouble at all with his ankle. So that's good to see that his ankle isn't giving out. That he's looking fit and ready. I saw Tony DeZorzi a bit as well. He's looking happy in the camp. He looks like he's integrated quite well. There's a nice balance to this team, guys, of experience and youth. So I like the way the smiles on their faces, and they look very happy. I mean, they're playing when they were playing some keep upsies or whatever you call it with the football. They all looked like they were having a lot of fun, and it looks like there's a good environment and chemistry in the team as well. Markram as vice captaincy, Wackers George. Good to see Hamza in the runs again. He might, yes, well done, Zubair. Another 100 for you. And Bjorn Fontaine, 100 for you too. Matthew Bretsky scoring 100 last week. Sinitembe Kashile, all the young guys that we've had on this channel and supported on this channel doing exceptionally well at the moment. So, congratulations to all of them. Might be slightly down the picking order in terms of the national selection at the moment, but won't be far for long if he turns out the runs. Calvin Reino also batted well today. Yes, he did. That's the one selection omittance that I felt really sad about is Calvin, because he batted really well in New Zealand and Australia, etc. And I feel really sad for him that he's been omitted from this team. I thought that he did enough actually to stay, to keep his place in the Proteas setup, but clearly Shukri it's a subjective decision. Yeah, he prefers Glasson. They've obviously been together in the National Academy together. So, yeah, we'll have to accept that the coach is going to make some subjective decisions based on who he prefers. But that is just is what it is when it comes to coaching. I mean, I don't think any coach manager in the world of sport doesn't have a player that they, trust and believe in, and pick them because of that. I mean, so Alex Ferguson from Manchester United used to pick Darren Fletcher all the time over other informed players, purely because of what Darren Fletcher would do to him for him. He would run through walls for him. And I think that maybe Klaassen is the same type of person that would do the same for Shukri. I think they have a very good relationship from the National Academy days. And maybe in the style that Shukri wants to play with a more attacking brand, I think maybe it does make sense that maybe Klaassen fits that mold more than Carl. But Carl is the type of player that can pull you out of trouble when you in need of runs and your team is down 5 and you need your keeper to come in and save the day. That's Carl Verheijen's strength. He's done it on plenty of occasions in domestic cricket. He's done it for the Proteas too. But unfortunately, that isn't what's going to be happening. Sadiq saying Ryan is the most informed batsman in the 4-day arena. Don't see them not playing him. I hope that they do. KP hasn't been informed out of the top 3. If Aiden and KP aren't informed, then it's a problem. Let's see. Let's see if the environment changes Aiden. I think Aiden is a type of player, from my opinion and from watching him for a very long time. I think he is a type of player that benefits from the environment that he's in. I think a good environment helps Aiden play a lot better. It brings the best out of him. And I think this environment, with a coach that backs him and believes in him, I think will bring the best out of Aiden. And I think Aiden will get the right advice from Shukri to get the best out of him. I think there's going to be advice and conversations that Shukri will have that will trigger maybe Aiden. And there's certain technical flaws that we've been seeing in Aiden's game. He might iron that out of him. We saw the effect he kind of had on him in the ODIs. I mean, Aiden batted a lot better in the ODIs than he ever did before. I know he's still getting himself out, and that will I think that will work out of him, and I think he will have a great effect on Aiden, and I hope that he does. I hope we see the Aiden that we saw in his debut series, in his debut season. Yeah, Lana's confirming that we are out. Can't drop Dean, he's our best batsman. In fact, when it comes to runs scored in the last year or so, Temba's our best batter. We want a 5-test match series against India and a 4-test match series against Australia and England, home and away. It would make it so exciting for Test cricket and South African cricket. It will be excellent, and I hope that they can find the funds to do so. We play against India in SA, so that's why we're not sure about him playing. We've beaten India in 2 series in a row in South Africa. I'm not really worried about them in South Africa. It's in India that I'm worried about. Will Aiden play Heinrich Klaassen or Glenn Phillips in Sunrisers Hyderabad? I have no clue, guy. That's up to the coach, I think, not Aiden. Aiden struggling against Shami and Thakur, not spin. Oh, yes, he did. You're right. I got that completely mixed up. I forgot that the India series is actually in South Africa. It's those bowlers, it's the swing bowlers that get Aiden. Um, but I'm sure I'm very confident in Shukri's ability, and I hope it doesn't come out to bite me. But I'm very, very confident in what he can bring, and I'm very confident in what he can do for the team, for the players and their mentalities particularly. I think he, I think Shukri has that edge. He knows how to talk to players. Certain players, he can be aggressive with, and certain players he'll put his arm around. He knows which ones to do it with and which ones to not. And I think that intelligence and emotional intelligence and intelligence is very key to the success of South African cricket because our players need that. There's certain players that need arms around them, and there's certain players you need to tell them that they're crap so that it brings out the best in them. After the Windies win, is the Proteas next tour, and who is it against India in December? I think it is. Wouldn't mind seeing. I think, guys. Yo, I must go check the list. Wouldn't mind seeing a run at seven as an option for Joburg. For Joburg, 100% because I mean the wicket isn't looking the same at the Wanderers as it always used to. So I would like seeing a run at seven in that. I think in Centurion it's different. In Centurion specifically, I think the wicket it isn't looking like it's going to turn. So I don't think there's any point in playing a spinner, in my opinion. It doesn't look like it at all. It looks like there's a little grass on it, but it looks flattish. It does look like a good batting wicket. Khalid, is it true that Casablanca is back in the Proteas sponsor? They are involved. I don't know if they're the main sponsor, but I think they are involved from what I've seen. I don't understand why Boucher gets so much hate. He got probably best out of the squad he got. I don't think he got the best out of that squad, to be honest. I really don't think so. I think we had a lot of talent there. The amount of changes and not backing players when they don't perform. He didn't really develop any youngsters, in my opinion, other than play Marco, who was a self. I mean, Markham's a self mentality giant. He's a self motivator. He doesn't really need a coach to develop him and motivate him. He motivates himself. So, other than that, I don't think Boucher did what we expected of him. They came in speaking big and didn't happen, especially against England. Oh, both times, the first series and the second one in England, both poor, and in Australia poor as well. I mean, those are teams that we've beaten in the past. Um, so it is quite shocking. Um, where are you guys now? Khalid, if you were at the transition, what did you see there? Was Tony Dizzy netting like he is playing tomorrow? I missed Tony Dizzo's net session because we were in the press conference. It was an optional training session, test with regards to the net session. So not everybody was there, but Tony was at the net, so he must have been batting. And Sinan Mutasami was batting, and Simon Harmer was batting when I went down. By the time I came there, Tony Dezorzi was done. So I'm sorry, guys, that I missed that, but I was in the press conference and I can't control that. Um, well, Rousseau and Stefan Edison both selected T20s. What's your opinion? It all depends on Rob, to be honest, and I can't give you an opinion because I haven't spoken to Rob. I'm waiting for my interview with Rob. I've put in a request in a very long time ago. Um, I'm waiting on a response. I did speak to the media manager today again to find out if I can. She said she'll let me know. So once I get that exclusive interview with Rob, we can start asking those questions. And then I'll get a feel of what he's thinking, and then we'll know what he's going to do with those experienced players. Being about Calvarena to an interview, I would like to. I have messaged him to tell him how sad I am about these. I have spoken to him. I'll try to get an interview from him and see what he says. Maybe I can do it now because he's at the Wanderers, and I'll try to maybe meet up with him. But I'll have to ask him, guys, and it's up to him. I'm not going to pressurize players into wanting to talk to us. They're going to have to feel comfortable doing it, and when they do, they can come speak to me. They know that my doors open. They know that my phone is always open for them. If they want to come do an interview, they can always request it or ask me. I'll give him a message and see if he's interested. But he also deserves that space because I think he is quite hurt by being dropped. I know I was. Vishal saying Alga, Aiden, KP, Ricoton, Temba, Vian, Klaassen, Marco, Gerald, KG, and Andre. Rickerton to bat four. We need to have someone who knows scoring essentially at four. Um, uh, because then why is that logo not on the jersey? Because we are since they've signed, we haven't played the test series yet. That's why. Khalid is washed up. It could be his last series. I don't know if it's washed up. I just think that that approach that Boucher wanted him to play didn't suit him, and I think the captaincy weighed a lot on him. I think now Shukri will allow him to play his natural game, hopefully, and it will turn Dean into a different player. I think. Did Shukri mention anything about seven bat for bowler split team? Um, from our conversations with him, he doesn't seem to hate it. And from the press conference, it doesn't seem that he's in favor of a particular. That's what I'm trying to say about Shukri. That is different to other coaches, maybe. He's not necessarily only in favor of one type of formation, I would call it. It's not about 7-4, it's not about 6-5. It's about the conditions and picking the best players for that. And I think personally that the 7-4 suits the conditions at Centurion at the moment. That's what I believe, and that's why I'm going with it. And you guys will know before I was always been in favor of 6-5s and not 7-4. I haven't always been pro seven batters. But when the conditions are suited for it, I would say seven batters. I'm not biased to that. So Shukri thinks about conditions. I'm the same when it comes to journalism. I look at the conditions and then I decide what I'm going to pick. I don't go on my feelings on who I feel I should play in every single 11. I go on what the conditions tell me, and then I pick my starting 11. I'm still learning a lot about conditions, speaking to coaches, speaking to players. I'm still learning how to think about that and how to look at the wickets and stuff and read wickets. I'm learning that now, guys, because I'm trying my best to try to understand cricket even more. I don't know what the captain. I don't know in what capacity they sponsoring the Proteas. Might just see some advertising at the ground or on the field. T is opening with Aiden. No, he's not. Steen is opening with Aiden. Khalid, I still can't believe Enoch had the guts to fire Victor son. Enoch has the guts, but guys, the one thing that I love about Enoch is that Enoch wants what's best for South African cricket. There's no agendas. It's what's best for South African cricket. It's as simple as that. We are already seeing what he's doing for women's cricket. Currently, there was a competition happening with under 19 girls, etc., for T20 cricket to try and improve them. A tournament like that has never happened ever in the history of cricket, and he's put that in place. Khalid, what do you think of this love relationship CSA has with Neil McKenzie? They can't just separate. You see, what people need to understand about Neil McKenzie, what people don't actually understand about Neil McKenzie is that Neil McKenzie is the batting lead. So what that means is he is a person that is available for whoever needs him within the South African cricket system. So if the under 19 women call him up and say, we need you, Neil, he can go there and travel and help them out. If the under 19, he said, his under 19 team needs him, he will go over there and go help them out. If a domestic cricketer calls him up, like I know for a fact that Ryan Rickerton has called up Neil and asked him for sessions, and players have called Neil for extra sessions. So that's what he's there for, is to aid the batting consultant that is going to be in the Proteas. So when the batting consultant is not available, Neil will help out. Like now, the batting consultant, the new batting coach that we from what we've seen and what we've heard, it's going to be JP Tumini. He's busy with the Rocks, and he's going to finish his season with the Rocks, and then that's why Neil McKenzie is stepping in, from my understanding. Teacher Khalid, I've seen your singing videos. Oh no! Also, you were a singer before this profession. You were too good, bro. Thanks a lot for that, bro. Yeah, I sing and I play the guitar. I don't know if a lot of people know that on this channel. There's a music video on YouTube as well that I did when I was 19. It was a profession I tried to do as an independent artist, but things never really went my way with regards to that. and it costs a lot of money to go into studio and to produce your own songs. So I started a business so that it can aid that. Actually, initially, that was the aim of why I started my business, so I can do all the hobbies that I love doing. I have a lot of other hobbies other than cricket that I like. I'm a big football fan, as you guys know, massive United fan. United's my first love, actually. I love music. I love movies. I love series. I love writing a book, actually, currently, that I want to turn into a series as well. Um, and I love surfing too, but I don't get to often to do it because I'm always at the cricket field. So cricket's also a passion of mine. This business is a passion of mine. Cricket Fanatics is not where it's going to end, guys. I'm going to be opening up a hell of a lot of more opportunities going forward, other magazines, other digital publications in other ventures, not only in cricket down the line. This is just the start. This is a blueprint that I want to build and then grow in the future. Yeah, so my music career didn't really work out because of money. I couldn't afford to go to studio and to spend like 3 4 thousand rand for studio sessions and not have creative control, full creative control over my own music. So I had to stop as soon as that, and I threw everything into my business, because if my business takes off, then I can do the hobbies and the things that I love on the side. Um, who do you see appointed as batting coach? JP Duminy. Khalid, I think JP Duminy is going to be the crucial for South African cricket. He needs to be in the Proteas coaching staff, and he will be. Do you think Tony DeZorzi could make his debut in the middle order tomorrow? No, yes, I do think so. We have to win the series convincingly. I agree with you. The best thing about Enoch's done was firing Victor and giving the coaches full reign when it comes to squad and team selection. Brilliant, Lawrence. You need to nail on the head. I think selectors had too much of a say when it came to that. 100%. I love it. I love that the coaches are involved with that. I don't think that's ever happened before. I don't think that's ever happened before. And I think Enoch is really taking things to the next level when it comes to professionalism. The 2 kilometer race or 2 kilometer runs that he's enforcing to get the teams fitter. Have you seen Australia, guys? Gee, my word. Australia is a fit team. Everybody's fit in that team. Maybe the younger players that are a little bit maybe overweight or whatever, not overweight, but that carry a little bit more fat than others, they get a little bit more leeway and chances to get to that level. But the rest of the teams, the experienced players, all the top players are very, very fit. Khalid, I heard that Vincent Barnes is going to retire at the end of the year as HB manager. He's been a great servant. What a guy. Vincent Barnes is one of my favorite people in cricket, in the cricket community. Um, Always helpful, always talkative, always makes, he comes sits with you at this press box and makes your day a lot better. Always trying to help people. He gave us some excellent interviews on Cricket Fanatics when we were just starting out, guys. He gave us exclusives, helped my younger writers as well with regards to giving them a brilliant quotes. So he's been brilliant for Cricket Fanatics. He's been brilliant for me as a journalist coming through. I mean, what a man, and he deserves his flowers for his dedication that he's given to South African cricket. Playing in the apartheid era and then coming through and being part as a bowling coach and then taking on the high performance role. Vincent Barnes is phenomenal. He also has a foundation with Ashwell Prince, guys, so please support that. Please support that. I was at that launch. Brilliant what they're going to do for the community. Wow, Cinema to some selectors say have better all rounders, right? Like a guy. I don't know what domestic cricket you're watching in first class cricket. But Senam Mutasam is one of the best all rounders in South Africa when it comes to spinning all rounders. When it comes to batting first as well. When it comes to batting, he's one of the most talented batting spinners in the country, other than obviously George Linder, as well as Bjorn Fortuin. Mutasam bats a little higher than him, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in certain matches. But Cinnamon is a very talented batter. I think you are being a little bit harsh on him. I think you should give him a little more credit. He's done pretty well he did pretty well for the Dolphins. He's just struggling a little bit more at Northwest. His problems there at Northwest. Do you expect shocks in Rob White or squads too? If Shukri and Rob on the same level, look at what Rob did at the Titans. So when I went back to go check, he brought Aiden back, I think. So if I'm not mistaken, before Boucher, actually I'm not 100% sure. But Rob Walter built a young, fresh team at the Titans. And if him and Shukri are on the same level and they have similarities, then I 100% think that there's going to be a shake-up in my ball arena as well. Linda's been a better batter all arounder in team, has been really good in SA20 also. But you're talking about T20 cricket, our first class cricket alone. Let me go look. It's easy to solve this. Go look quickly. I love George Linda, by the way. I would love to see him in the Proteas team actually. I think it was a bit swat that they actually dropped him in the first place, to be honest. And that was Boucher that did that. Um, I don't feel that Boucher respected our younger players and gave them enough opportunities, in my opinion. Um, so, let me see. Come on, taking long to load. Okay. Let's see. So, Sinaran Mutasami, when it comes to first class cricket as a batter, in 159 innings, which is 96 matches, he has an average of 31.16. He has 800s and 25 50s. George Linder in first class cricket has played 72 matches, 102 innings, has an average of 31.03, 500s and 13 50s. So when it comes to hundreds, Mutasami trumps him. And when it comes to no, not when it comes to, let me just check the conversion rate. When it comes to conversion rate, not so much. He'll probably play less matches, but he has more hundreds currently. Um, but George Linder has a better strike rate actually in first class cricket. Now we must remember that this is included in semi-pro cricket, so I don't actually know what the 4-day stats are of both players. I want not click info click archive needs to sort that out as well. Um, they used to split up the 4-day from the 3-day, right? Which they didn't do. Which they did for many years until the Division 1 and 2 happened and the team names changed. Then now it looks a bit wonky. So I don't know what is what now. Before I could see that. Do I see? I would love Faf to come back. Under Shukri, I just want batsmen to start scoring big test hundreds again. That's what he's gonna aim for. He told me that in his interview too. Guys, if you watch my interview, please go watch that interview. It'll give you a lot of information. Khalid, please bring Michelle on here again. I really want to. I'm gonna message him. I didn't get a chance to message him today about today's show. It was too short notice. Because I had something else planned for you as well, and it didn't take place. So yeah, I'm gonna get hold of him. I want to do a review show with him. Definitely gonna message him and ask him to come on the review shows when he has an opportunity. Rapport is reporting Jelkuchi is going to join the Titans next season. Good move for him. Makes sense to me. Okay, guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, click that notification bell for all future videos. Don't forget to smash the like button, comment, and share, because that's how we get into recommended feeds. Also, there's a couple of things that I'd like you guys to do, and this is 100% free. Download the latest issue of Cricket Fanatics Magazine monthly. Every issue is 100% free. Straight to your inbox every month. Subscribe now. You get every single issue straight to your inbox every single month. Link is on the screen as well as in the description. And also help us promote and grow South African cricket and help Cricket Fanatics Magazine grow by becoming a patron today. The link is on the screen as well as in the description. And also go to cricketfanaticsmag.com for all your regular updates. Thanks a lot, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I'll see you again tomorrow with another review show. I'll be off on the Gautrain to go to. I'm so excited about this Gautrain, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll be like a little nerd, but I was my first trip on the Gautrain today and I had a blast. It was awesome. I hope it's going to continue that way. I'll be traveling on the Gautrain to go to Centurion tomorrow. So I'm going to hope that I have another experience like I did today. It was a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys again tomorrow for another daily show to wrap up what happened on day one of the first test between West Indies and South Africa. Take care, everybody, and I hope to see you very soon. Peace out.